Welcome back. It's been a little minute. We took a winter break. Don't cry about it. We're here.
Straight in, as you can tell, Manchester City with a amazing victory, 3-2 over Newcastle. It's really all you can say. An amazing game.
Come from behind.
An amazing bunch of goals. An amazing return to the Premier League from injury from Kevin De Bruyne. What a fucking game.
As a neutral hater of both teams, it was nice to see that many goals. It was a competitive game, really back and forth, obviously.
Yeah.
The St. James Park fans were going absolutely crazy.
Yep.
I mean, you could tell that they were backing their team from the first 5 minutes when we saw that critical mistake. Almost cost them. They were getting into it, pushing their team forward the whole game.
The first 25 minutes, I thought we looked really good. They had a slight chance that ended up in a Ederson injury. In like the 8th minute, unfortunately, Kyle Walker sliding into him. It was just a bunch of people colliding, really. Ederson. And then gets up, thinks he's going to keep going, and then gives the ball away immediately, and then he's telling everybody to get subbed out. I was fuming when I saw that. You should have known before that. You got to get off. Ortega comes on. Ortega has an okay game. First 25 minutes, I thought City were really dominant. Bernardo Silva with a peach of a goal. We had a lot of the possession, as you'd expect. We were up the field. We were fighting left and right, winning the ball back up on their half. Really on the first 25 of the first half.
Newcastle really relied on the counters. Like, they weren't really able to get anything going through their build-up play. They were pretty much stalled everywhere that they went from the back line. So they had to rely on those counterattacks, and they were few and far between, like Tanner said, in those first 25 minutes. But then, after City get that first goal, we see one of those counterattacks pay off.
We see some change. And the first goal, beautiful pass from Bruno Guimaraes to Isaac.
Controversial tackle right before that. And
then we see Kyle Walker, who had a very terrible first half. The first goal, though, I'm not going to blame it completely on him, but not great defending right there from him.
Not great positioning either.
Didn't do well against Isaac to try, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to blame that one solely on him. Great pass leads to a good goal. It is what it is. We're 1-1 at this point. And for the rest of the half, it felt like we were so shaky. And it showed really badly for us. We were trying to get them offside a lot. We did catch them offside most times. They got caught offside. A lot of their attacks were offside because we played a really good line. But then they find their way through. And it was just a pass out to Anthony Gordon and Kyle Walker again. Jogging back. This man is jogging back. Absolutely, I don't know if it's arrogance, if it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he was thinking in that moment, thinking he could jog back against Anthony Gordon, who's one of the best performing wingers in the league this season. You may not, how high you rate him is whatever, but he's playing really well this season.
Yeah.
So you have to give him that. And he's running at you. He's a quick guy. And you're jogging back, first of all. He gets into the box. You're still lackadaisical. And he just puts one right around you and past your goalie.
He does the same thing that Isak did just, 10 minutes ago. He cuts left
2 minutes
for
ago.
the fake.
2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He cuts left for the fake and then cuts back to the right, curls it around the keeper. Same exact thing. Stole his flow, bar for bar.
Bar for bar.
Whatever. I mean, same thing. Right around him, right around the goalie. 2-1 at that point.
The entire rest of the second half was just, it was a little shaky. We didn't really look like we were going to score.
Shaky dog.
Really disappointing. Rodri with the yellow card that pissed me off so much. That pissed me off. But you know what? Bruno didn't get a second yellow, even though he stepped right on his fucking foot. But you know what? I'm not going to sit here and complain about the refs. This shit happens to everybody, I guess. So it is what it is. End of the half. We're down 2-1.
Pep goes in and gives them an absolute hammering at halftime. Guaranteed.
Second
100%.
Second half starts. We look much, much better off rip. We look good. Newcastle had some chances again, far and few between. from the counterattacks, things like that. I didn't see them with anything really. I don't remember anything off the top of my head. Really solid chances from Newcastle in that second half.
They were hanging on by a thread. Like, that whole second half, you could tell that they were fine.
They were there.
They obviously had the 2-1 lead, so you want to defend. You want to stay back. You don't want to take those chances.
You want to win.
Understandable, absolutely. And that was very evident from the minute that the second half kickoff went. Like, they were trying to hold on to the 2-1 lead and then the eventual 2-2 draw that they tried.
Man, I'm telling you what, we get down to nut cutting time. 65th, 70th minute, somewhere in there. We're playing all right. We haven't been able to find that way through yet. Alvarez is missing some chances that is killing me. It's absolutely killing me to watch. I know this guy can score those chances too. That's what it is I expect him to score those chances. One-on-one, off the corner. Not one-on-one, he had all the people in front of him, but the left side of the goal was open. You just got to put it there.
And he just
skies it. Absolutely skies it. Kevin De Bruyne, though. Man comes on about the 70th minute. I told Trevin, I'm telling Trevin, we're down 2-1. At the beginning of the game, I will say I predicted a 3-1, which I was wrong. It's 3-2. And, but I told Trevin, I'm saying, Kevin De Bruyne's going to come on this pitch. He's going to make it 3-2. I'm telling you, he changes games. And maybe that part of me was like just being like an assed up City fan. You know what I mean?
Ambitious,
but at the same time, you know what he's capable of. You know what he's capable of, especially as a City fan, watching this guy week in and week out, and that's what he fucking does, man. He comes on the pitch, not even a few minutes later, passes the fucking ball from 20 yards out into the back of the net. No chance from the goalie. Everybody ecstatic. Woo! Kevin, woo! Keep going. Newcastle fighting back. It's 2-2. You can see they got a little bit more about them.
Almiron had a couple chances here and there. Isak didn't really do a whole lot in that second half. But they did have a couple chances to try and take the lead again, but they wasn't
there.
Clinical enough.
And we're trying to, it's a back and forth after the 2-2. It's 2-2. It's kind of like how it was when it was 0-0, just back and forth again. We're both going for it.
City.
Yeah, we're going for it now. We keep going, and then here we go again. The Kevin De Bruyne show. Late 90th minute or something like that.
92nd
minute. He's trying everything he can to get it through, Kevin is. He had an amazing segment. I'm just over here. I'm about to. Oh my god.
You're the glizzy
I'm
gobbler
literally like,
for fucking Kevin.
And then this man puts in a peach ball. Oscar Bob, what a season he's having. He's having a breakout season similar to what Foden had when he first started coming into the side. That first season where he's just coming off the bench, getting really few appearances, but he makes a name for himself when he does come off. So that's the main thing. And Oscar Bob, what a goal.
I think one of the big differences between Oscar Bob and Phil Foden, like you said, is Oscar Bob is scoring in big moments so far. A lot of times in Foden's first season, he did score, but it was the third of a 3-0 or the second of a 1-0, where, yes, it is great that they score, but it's not those critical moments where they need him. But Oscar Bob has shown a couple times this season that he's showing up. He is there when they need him.
He's showing up. I absolutely love seeing it. It's the youth academy players coming through, all the oil money in the world. But you can't change. You can't take away from any club being able to bring an academy player into your first team. That's just there's nothing like it. It feels good as a fan to see it too, and I absolutely love it. The skill, the pass from Kevin De Bruyne. He was clearly onside. Oscar Bob controls it. Oh my god. The little flick from one foot to the other into the back of the net for 3-2 in the 91st minute against Newcastle for Manchester City to go and win 3-2. As I tell Trevin, when Kevin De Bruyne comes on, we're going to win 3-2. And what do? Because, pretty much solely because of Kevin De Bruyne, we won 3-2.
Results weren't so fortunate for United this week, though. We just wrapped up a 2-2 draw against Tottenham Hotspur at home. Not really what you want.
No.
But as we do, we'll start from the beginning.
We're a day later, as you can tell, different attire. Yeah. Yesterday we watched the City game. It was huge. Big game, big result for us. Today, It's Tottenham Man United. A huge game at Old Trafford for both of these teams.
Big game, not a good result for us, though, honestly. You want to be winning these games at home.
Yeah.
But from the lineups, it looked like we were going to come out of the gate pretty strong. I was hoping to see Casemiro in and Martinez in, but they're both coming back from long-term injuries, so I understand it. Just wishful thinking on my part, honestly.
Thankfully, Anthony wasn't in the starting lineup for United fans.
I do agree.
God forbid.
We did have Onana in, which we kind of was a flip of the coin. We didn't know whether we were going to have him or not because he does have his first AFCON game tomorrow. Yep. He'll just fly out. He's going to miss it, thankfully. He's, true red doing that for us. We really appreciate it.
They're playing against some bum team anyway.
Son, unfortunately, for Tottenham wasn't there. Fortunately for United, I hate playing against him. He's always so creative. He's always in the spaces he needs to be, and just leading that line this year, he's been crazy.
It's such a big miss for Tottenham. Hueng Min Son is by far and away their best player. Has been since Harry Kane left, but right alongside Harry Kane.
Other than Harry Kane, it was 1A and 1B, and then the gap to 2 was pretty substantial.
And it's slowly starting to close, but Hueng Min Son still is just up there. You can see this Tottenham team is developing under Postecoglou. Van de Ven back in the starting lineup for them.
Romero as well.
They had a pretty solid starting lineup.
Welcoming Werner in.
Yeah, welcoming in Werner. Timo Werner getting in. Oh, man. We last saw him in the Premier League for Chelsea. Didn't do very good at all for Chelsea.
Won a Champions League, though. You won a Champions League.
He did win a Champions League.
He's a Champions League winner.
Tottenham lineup solid. We're missing Hueng Min Son, but from the get-go, this game was entertaining, to say the least.
Right out of the gate, 2 minutes in, Rasmus Højlund with a peach of a goal. Just an absolute rocket into the top corner. The goalie could do nothing.
It was off of a little mistake from Rashford. It was a good chance creation.
Yeah.
Rashford almost had his little chance there. And Højlund just picked up that loose ball, smashes it.
Unfortunately, though, they couldn't hold it for more than 15 minutes. Richarlison comes through off of I hate to say it, really good Pedro Porro corner. Comes in, nobody could do anything about it. Dalot, I don't love his positioning there, honestly, but we'll let it go for now. That first half really started out well for United, but then after that goal for Richarlison, they kind of just took over for that second half until Marcus Rashford was able to come through with that counter-attacking goal that we love to see. Goal for United off of a little bit of a mistake from the Tottenham defense.
Again, Tottenham's defense on both of those goals was a little shaky, I will say. At the same time, though, this is football. It's a game of mistakes, right? That's how you win. You capitalize on your opponent's mistakes, you score. One way or another,
you don't commit them.
Yeah, one way or another, you have to make them make a mistake to score, right? So they score. Marcus Rashford's first goal, I have to say this because the commentator did too, first home goal since May. Oh my God. It's January of 2024. Oh my God.
Let's be honest. Rashford hasn't been in the best form of this year. But we've had a little bit of a break. We've had the ability to recoup some of our squad depth. We're really now set in a prime position to go after this top 4 spot. At the beginning of the year, we were really hopeful that maybe we could compete for the league, but not to make excuses or anything, but after quite a few injuries, some problems with players,
overall just a bad club right now.
Craziness with the owners.
Just the whole
at this
mess
point
of a club.
We're fighting for top 4, and that's what I gotta hope for. Once again, right out of the gate, second half, just like the first half, we see another goal, but unfortunately for myself and United, it was for Bentancur. It was a pretty good goal from him, honestly. There wasn't much that Onana could have really done. It is what it is, they came out way, way more rapid than we did. We did not really look up to it in the first part of that second half.
Definitely not compared to Tottenham. And Bentancur, man of the match, had a good game. Tottenham, overall, I felt, going into Old Trafford without your best player, Hueng Min Son, they played a really good game. They played the game they like to play. They like to play expansive football and run around and stuff. I think that also gave United an opportunity, though, to, slight counters, spreading the play as well. Rashford likes to get out wide and then run in. We saw a lot of his runs today, which I think is another reason he scored today, is because he's really putting himself in position to score. which you could say he hasn't been really doing that lately. But we see him doing that now. They get the goal. 2-2 against Tottenham. I mean, how do you feel? Like, is this the march on for top 4? Is Marcus Rashford back or what?
I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna just be only positive. You gotta have some of the context to it. But obviously, I'm happy that Rashford scored, that Hueng scored.
Yep.
But still, we got a 2-2 draw. I mean, it's 1 point. We're 8 points behind Tottenham right now, and we're 9 points behind the 4th spot. I believe it's Arsenal right now. So, that gap is growing. We have to really figure this shit out now. Get a couple loans in. Benzema hit our line,
Wow.
and then we'll really get this shit going for a second half push to the top 4, and maybe, just maybe, an FA Cup or something. Figure it out. But I think right now we're on the way up.
And before we get off of it, we have to address the refereeing situation in both Manchester games, okay? Absolutely ridiculous. In any game, the referees letting play continue on after it's offside. It's
clear
it's
and obvious
clear offside.
offside.
And yet you let players continue on. Ederson gets hurt yesterday from it. Rashford almost got hurt from it today. People are getting fouled after it's offside. It's offside. Call it. Put
When
the
it
flag
doesn't
up.
matter.
Put
It
the
no
flag up.
longer matters.
Yeah. Put the flag up. All right. That's everything of the Manchester teams. We're not going to really worry about the other teams. There's so many games far between each other. So, big Manchester video. Kevin De Bruyne is back. Marcus Rashford gets a goal after a while. Maybe he's coming back into form. We'll see what happens.